12 years to avoid catastrophe. That's the UN's grim warning on climate change.
We're already pretty fucked. I like to say we're in deep shit.
In the Alps, you could see very early signs of climate change. Like, of course, glaciers are disappearing. Like, we won't stop that if with and without climate change. But the speed of disappearance is shocking.
The Alps are warming more than twice as fast as the rest of Europe. Over summer, there was unprecedented drought.
Yeah, that's really special for us. The farmers don't know the situation yet. The grass stopped growing, so there is a shortage in feed.
Politicians and governments that dismiss IPCC reports, that's not conservative, it's not progressive, certainly it is insanity. When we lose the reflective cover of the Arctic sea ice, when we lose the Greenland ice sheet, the climate system globally unravels, and it's going to create the kind of problems that will make it pretty hard to govern society. The migrations, the droughts, those destabilize our societies and our economies in ways that we lose control. So what's at risk here is practically civilization.
He fears the world will need massive technological fixes called geoengineering, literally re-engineering the Earth to hold back what's coming.
For example, we can slow down melting of the Antarctic ice sheet by piling up sand on the seafloor simply to block warm currents that are already destabilizing the whole West Antarctic ice sheet.
Other ideas include covering oceans with iron filings to encourage carbon-eating plankton, or sending ships round the world to pump seawater mist into the sky to diffuse the sun's rays.
We don't yet know which they will be, but we have some ideas, and we need to try several technologies and evaluate them and figure out which are the least risky, etc., to get the carbon curve, which is like this now, to get it negative. And that all needs to happen in the next 10, 20 years to start down that path. It's extremely ambitious.
But the problem is, no matter how much we ride, no matter how much we recycle, no matter how fast communities transition to renewables, it's probably not going to be fast enough. The politics are failing, which is why there's now such an urgent push to try new technology, to experiment with things that sound like science fiction, but could be the only way to ensure a secure future is a fact.
But what we can do is provide as many facts as possible that can inform us about the risks, that can find ways that perhaps have less risks. But in the end, any decision will always have to be based on imperfect knowledge.
Do you ever feel like this is playing God?
It is. There's a huge amount of hubris in this idea of saying, well, oh, we've caused a problem, let's fix the problem, and I know how to do this. We're going to do this, and we know exactly what's going to happen to the whole planet. Yes, it has a lot of that. It's actually quite unsettling, and quite frankly makes me quite anxious.
No matter how fast the world switches to renewable energy, the age of untested, high-risk geoengineering could soon be upon us.
We don't get there by going neutral. For better or for worse, geoengineering is part of the mix going forward, because we cannot get to where we need to be by conservation alone.
It could be the last throw of the dice to save the planet. After decades of governments ignoring dire warnings, simply going green may not be going far enough.